Welcome everyone to Dad's on Wrestling, episode 72.
Actually, only two.
I should have never in my head.
Only two.
Yes, we are back after a very well-viewed episode on Sunday.
Yes, 1,300 views as of last night when we returned from Disneyland. Thank y'all very much.
Are we even awake from that? Seriously? Are we?
Barely.
Yeah, right?
You had to freaking corral me out of bed so that we could do presents for the boy today.
Yes, it is Dylan's birthday today.
Even though technically when this goes up tomorrow it won't be. But we're filming it on Dylan's birthday because you're going out of town to his grandparents' house for a party and stuff. So
party, cake, and all kinds of stuff that we probably shouldn't eat.
So kayfabe, this is Cam the day before it actually goes up. Kayfabe. Anyways.
Should you like Wayne's World Dream Sequence? You do that too? Just to...
Okay, anyways.
Anyway. But we are here to...
do our book review.
That was the original plan, was to do the book review for Adam Copleland, On Edge.
Let's go ahead and do what we told people we would do.
And to remind people about the next book.
Yes, let's tell people we're going to do them. We can go to the other stuff after.
Because we promised if there was something monumental happened, we would talk about it.
Yes, but... Adam Copleland on Edge.
Yes.
The very first Casa de 18 Studios Book of the Month book.
Yes. And
of course, signed by Edge and Adam Copleland.
Ugh. Yes.
Very, very awesome read.
Definitely my favorite non-Ghost Rider
book
autobiography since the Foley series, by far.
This was only the second time I've read through this.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm not like you and, get bored and pick up one of them and read for the 500th time. I read it once usually, and then sometimes I'll reread them and sometimes I won't. But second time I've read this, it was just as good the second time as it was the first time.
Definitely.
Did notice something I didn't really pick up on the first time I read it. And that is the identity of Fatty.
I forget who that is now that you say that.
That is Sin Bodhi Kazarni.
Oh, that's right.
Adam's good buddy Nick, I ain't even going to try and pronounce his last name, but Sin Bodhi,
Kazarni,
Sin from the Disciples of the New Church, Kazarni, Fatty.
Is Fatty in this book. So if you read this book and you read about Fatty, his friend Nick, if you didn't know, now you know.
Yep.
Sorry for the spoiler. But the book's freaking 8 years old, seriously.
Seriously. It's hard to do, sorry about the spoilers if something is that old.
Yeah. But a great read. I was thoroughly impressed with Adam's writing style. The fact that it was just him. There was no Ghost Rider like they have in these other books. And he wrote a great story. His life story is a great story. It's one of a dream coming true. It's one of, literally a dream coming true, because his dream was not only to be the WWF champion, which he didn't get by this book's publishing, which he did later, but the backbone rang, and ended up being the fact that it was he got to team with Hulk Hogan at one point, which was his idol.
Exactly.
He got to team with Hogan for a good part there in 2002.
Yeah.
So it was kind of awesome.
I was going to touch on that this goes all the way up to his return on Raw, the night after WrestleMania 20, 2004.
Yep.
Adam, I know you're probably not watching, but anybody is watching can get a word to you. Please write another book, because I would love to read your thoughts and how emotional it was coming back from that injury, becoming IC champion again at Vengeance, right? 2004 against Orton.
Yes. Tag champion.
Going to Money in the Bank at Mania, winning, cashing in against John, your huge rise as champion, all the way up until the Hall of Fame induction.
Yep.
Like, that would be great right there. That's 8 years worth of coverage.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that, Jericho's second book, Undisputed, covered,
pretty much his entire first WWE run.
Yeah, the first 8 years, you can do this, man. If you do it by yourself, my God, it'll be amazing. Write another book, Adam, please.
And in the insert here where you have your pictures and stuff, post pictures of your haircut. Getting that small little curly Q cut. Because Jade cried.
Jade did cry. Legit
Jade cried.
Yeah, that was horrible.
The fact that you have that little hair now.
That was brutal.
On the one hand, it was kind of funny.
It was funny.
Because, it's crying over hair. But on the other hand, it was kind of funny.
She's pouting again.
She's pouting, yeah.
She's pouting again.
So,
If you did not read this during the
5 stars, Jeff.
Oh, definitely.
5 stars.
5 out of 5. 5
out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I'd probably give it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5. Simply, it would be 4, but the fact that it's written by him only gives it an extra little boost in the butt.
Good
now,
point.
if you did not read this during March, go back to another time.
Yes.
Now my phone's ringing.
Because this month, the month of April,
woo!
To be the man, you got to beat the man. Ric Flair.
And you're already halfway through it, and you botched your spot.
Signed.
Hopefully
I had to show that off.
Hopefully you know what your spot is, homie.
I do.
Okay, good.
I was like a page and a half away from like the end of the first chapter.
Oh, okay. Yep, I'll bring my copy with me
Yep,
on my
right
trip
there.
here. All right.
So.
The first chapter is pretty brutal in and of itself.
Yeah, seriously, Black Market Baby.
Seriously, read that. Read that first chapter. You'll have a whole other respect for Flair. Seriously. But read this book this month. Get to Edges eventually, but this month, the Nature Boy, the newest, along with the Horseman.
The two-time WWE Hall of Famer.
That's right. And if you haven't watched the ceremony on USA Network yet for Monday night, which we haven't either, you need to watch that, because I hear Flair's part of the speech alone is just worth the price of admission, if you will.
Yeah. And from the clips, you asked me last night if we wanted to, watch it because of skipping Mike Tyson and everything. It's like, clips I saw at Tyson's were hilarious.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
So even if you don't like Mike Tyson, his speech is going to be hilarious.
Plus the inductors.
DX, yeah, seriously. Yeah. You can't go wrong with that.
No. So watch that stuff. Read Flair's book this month. You've got till April 30th at 11:59. 59.
We will do another book review on the first May edition of Dad's on Wrestling.
Which will be...
But we were not even going to try and do that math right now. Yeah. Just move on
to May 3rd-ish.
To the monumental
that everybody knew about.
Raw. Now, Raw started off how, Jeff?
Raw started out with a very good promo by Dwayne Johnson. I will give him that. Yes, he did very well. Came out, complimented John, respected John, showed some serious class, and then one day vowed to once again be the WWE champion. I was amazed by that, and now I look forward to not necessarily the John Rock rematch, but perhaps Punk and Rock come SummerSlam. Which, if we're I know you're going to be there.
I have my tickets already. Thank you to my stepdad Chuck and my mom for buying them for me. That is my birthday present from them, because my birthday is a couple days after SummerSlam.
So whoever's at SummerSlam with you is bound to see either one of two really good main events.
Yeah.
So hopefully that works out. But
now, are you going to be mad if he's not there on a week-to-week basis now?
No, because he actually came out last Monday night and said pretty much it's not over, it's just the beginning. If he comes out at least once or twice a month, I won't trip. I'll be a good boy. But this whole, April, May, November, February, ain't gonna fly anymore. Okay. He's got to be back on a semi-regular basis, like seriously.
I agree. I mean, that is the one thing that I didn't like about what Dwayne was doing, but especially if he is going to try to become the champion again.
Yeah, champion.
He needs to be there, like you said, at least once a month, even if it's not a pay-per-view. Maybe the Raw leading into a pay-per-view or the Raw coming out of a pay-per-view. He needs to be there at least once.
Yep. To
do something if he's going to be involved in a championship storyline.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's getting, kind of like someone we're going to be talking about a little bit. He's going to be getting, a title opportunity handed to him without having proven himself.
Yes. Freaking bat phone today. Freaking bat phone rings, my phone rings. Freaking bust me out for having thugonomics as my ringtone.
Yes, Commissioner.
Seriously.
We're on our way.
Fat man. Sorry.
That's right. So, I just wanted to make sure that you got that out there. See, he does have a little bit of respect for Dwayne.
I will completely admit and cop to all my wrongdoing. I have been a douche to Dwayne Johnson the last 2 months.
Last 2 months? How about since he came back February 14th? I will never leave you guys again. I am home. Next week, crickets.
Yeah, he wasn't there. And
after that,
I mildly got in this case, but once he came back after Survivor Series, and this time, I laid it on about as thick as pea soup. And I admit that. And I got called out for it on a question, and I will gladly admit to my wrongdoing.
And you got called out to it by me on the shows.
You did. And I also, y'all have noted that I have lost my analytical sense, I guess, since I came to this channel over a year ago, and I was much more professional, I guess, on the other channel.
That's what they claim.
That's what they claim. I don't necessarily see it that way. I do believe that I've become much more one-liner driven as far as, you know, being a butthole. But
a lot of that is due to the uncut, uncensored, no restrictions that I give you, right?
Yeah, exactly. You
don't have to try to fit, you know, your 200 whatever pound frame in your itty bitty teeny tiny box.
Yeah.
You've got room to breathe in there now.
Yeah, and I like having room to breathe. And I said this last year when this all went down, that I was going to leave for good. If you all don't like what I do, you don't have to watch. The numbers don't lie. I'm going to toot my own horn for just a minute here, so forgive me.
Okay.
I came over to Renegade's channel when Renegade had one canceled show. It's Chris Hardy. The Hardy Conversation. There was no shows on this channel. I came over, and at the beginning of last year, we did 2 shows. We did Renegade, and we did Dads. Since that time, productivity on this channel has increased 1,000-fold or whatever it's been. We got like 4 or 5 shows now, plus the mashups.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got viewers coming out the woodwork. We've got more followers than we ever did. Granted, it's not nowhere near the numbers. Then again, I don't push for followers every single show like I did on the other channel.
Mm-hmm.
Begging y'all, please follow and subscribe to it. Give a shit if you subscribe. Just watch. The view count is the money. The money is the view count. Because that's where the ads are.
I mean, I have never claimed to be as big as the other channel.
No.
I know we're not going to be.
No.
Because at the end of the day, what I don't think y'all realize is they have a website that gets massive amount of traffic that pushes their shows.
Yeah.
We're a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, we're a YouTube channel.
We currently have 2,100 and like 30-something subscribers.
Something like that.
1,300 people watched our show.
Yeah.
More than half of the people that subscribed watched the show.
I will bet you
more than half of the people that subscribe watch his show on a weekly basis. Now, all those people may not watch all the other shows, but more than half of our subscribers watch his show. Yeah, and that's a pretty good ratio.
And I'll bet you dollars to donuts that half of the 20,000 on the other side don't watch their stuff. If they get 10,000 people a week, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Seriously. And if they get it once in a while, that's one thing, but they're not consistent.
Yeah.
And they weren't even when I was there. We had 20,000 people on that channel, a couple thousand views a week, if that. Seriously. It's not worth it to plug y'all. Just watch the show. We plug it on Facebook, we plug it on Twitter, we plug it on YouTube.
And our loyal viewers do.
Yeah, you guys come to us. We get approached all the time, out in public, everywhere. And, you know, some people ask me why it left. Some people still ask me why it didn't go back. And I'm not going to hash that story. And, you know, I hear they're starting the new stuff. And, you know, more power to them. If they're successful, that's great. If not, you know, I'm not going to shed a tear. Because I'm happy where I am. Yes, sir.
Can we get back to Raw now?
Yes, we get back to Raw now. Because
we had the return of Alberto Del Rio
and Ricardo Rodriguez.
How was that show? Did I do good?
Let us know, brother. Let us know. He did good. Yeah, it was cool seeing him challenge Sheamus. Again, Sheamus with a cheap shot. 2 nights in a row, he cheap shots his main adversary for the moment. A little heelish there, Red. Throwing that out there.
What's the matter, Beaker? Did Dr. Bunsen Honeydew fire you?
They proved they weren't the same people. They proved that. We're trying to get the Dylan boy off.
I was going to say, Dylan still doesn't tell.
That's because Dylan doesn't pay attention.
And the last thing we need to talk about on...
Yeah...
Oh, no.
No?
We had the debut...
Or Tensai.
/ return of Albert / A-Train / the Hip Hop Hippo / Lord Tensai.
And .com actually acknowledged his past identity.
Good.
So they said,
I still wonder if they didn't take a little bit of this angle. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Right.
A little bit of this angle with the American, in the comparison I'm going to make with the Brit, stuck in Japan, making a name for himself, heroes, and Takedo Kensei.
Maybe. Well, I know the .com article that revealed his identity said, he felt disrespected here because he was this stupid gimmick. He didn't say that word, obviously. Went to Japan, immersed himself in the culture, and then adopted the name Tensai, which means disaster. Just to totally just absolve himself of all American culture. He is from Japan. And he is going to annihilate people. A-Rai got messed up. I don't know who A-Rai pissed off in the back, but he done paid for it.
Let me ask you this. This past week on After the Bell, you had a question about who you would hire, who you would fire.
Yes.
With the debut of Tensai, do you think WWE should have brought in Carl Machine Gun Anderson? Or do you think that's something that should be at least considered and pursued down the line?
Consider and pursue down the line. I like Carl. I've always liked Carl. I just don't know if WWE sees him as anything more than, like a comedy guy that happens to be a good wrestler, because he was always goofing with Joey.
And, what about having him and Tensai as a team? Like
he's very respected in Japan. The difference is WWE got to see Carl. Got to see Tensai as a bad A here a part of the time too, because toward the end there, A-Train was just a beast. Mm-hmm. That was with Brock and with Matt Morgan and with Nathan Jones and all those guys. Somebody brought bringing Nathan Jones back. If Nathan,
asking about the Australian champion.
If Nathan gets his head on straight, go for it. And have him be part of the stable with Tensai. The foreign, foreign fanatics, or whatever you want to call them. Those guys will just be beasts. But Carl, down the line, not right away.
Okay.
This dude that's with him now, the Sakamoto, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which brings us to a name that you just dropped in reference to A-Train. The return of Brock Lesnar.
Not even a word.
And, well, here comes the pain.
Yeah, John felt the pain. He did.
I gotta say, I've been a fan of Brock's more so since he left the company than when he was with the company. When he was with the company, I kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Mm-hmm. He was one of those guys that, I sipped on Vince's Kool-Aid. When he was face, I liked him. When he was heel, I didn't like him.
Okay.
But I missed seeing that Titantron.
Yeah.
I missed hearing that music. Like, I always joked with Bruce that, like, for his first UFC fight, he should have come out to his WWE music, just because that is what people knew.
Yep.
And then, like, for a second fight or something, maybe transition to something else. But for that debut fight, he should have come out to that
Yeah. Problem was he got schooled in his first fight, so it wouldn't have looked very good for WWE music.
No. He lost control. He didn't get schooled. He made a cardinal error.
Well, okay.
By doing head punches.
Okay, well.
And if he hadn't done that little slip up and given Mir a chance to get his facilities about him, he would have owned Mir in that first fight. Go back and rewatch it.
I watched the fight. I just mean school in the fact that he made a mistake.
He dominated that fight.
But he made that mistake, and Mir went right into it, dude. That's where he schooled him, in my opinion. Anyway, we're getting off track because he's back in the WWE. And
that's right.
F5 John Cena out of his freaking Boston Celtics shirt. Or his hat.
That was awesome.
He found the hat. He kicked the hat across the ring.
That was awesome.
I got shown that shirt Sunday before it debuted.
So did I.
And I was like, really?
Hashtag, are you serious, bro?
Seriously? Yeah, we can talk about that. We should, if anybody but Japanese hosted that show, we should talk about that shirt.
Yeah.
We should host that. We should host that show. We should host that. We should make a pledge. Yeah. Anyway, so Brock is back. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this guy if they do anything on SmackDown.
No.
There was not a mention, a murmur of him coming out. All they talked about was the end of an era match and that Undertaker and Triple H and Shawn all showed respect and walked up together. There was no goodbye speech. There was no I'll be back speech. None of the three of them showed up on Raw at all.
Yeah.
There was no sign of any of those three guys on Raw. So is the era truly over? With Brock's return, John being the superstar, is the Attitude Era truly over and those three guys never to be heard from again? I'll see. Because Hunter's still technically the COO on storylines. But now Johnny... Oh, God. Laurinaitis has both shows. Pouting. Jade's pouting too, because she knows it's bad news.
Before we wrap the show...
Yes.
Since we are filming this a day early...
Yes.
Dylan! Come here, buddy.
Tell everybody thank you for the birthday wishes.
Thank you for your birthday wishes.
I posted that picture of me holding you on your first day. I got so many comments. They love you. So say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Say that's all for Dads on Wrestling.
That's all for Dads on Wrestling.
See you next week.
See you next week.